This is an easy way to start a middle out cast on for a circular blanket, just using a regular cast on. So I'm using long tail cast on, and I'm going to make 8 stitches, which is half the number I actually want, and I'm going to make them onto a smaller size needle than the one I plan to use for the rest of the project. There are my 8 stitches, and I've got a tail with which I can neaten the centre hole when I'm finished, and now I'm going to divide those stitches onto 2 needles. I'm simply going to slip the first 4 onto another needle. I'm going to fold it around into a circle, so the last stitch I cast on is here. And I want to begin my knitting on my next round with the first stitch I cast on. So making sure that I'm using the yarn attached to the ball and continuing with the smaller size needles. I'm going to knit and purl into each one of these stitches, making the 16 stitches that we require. So I've knitted, and I'm working just at the needle tips here so that I don't sort of stretch those beginning stitches out. And I'm going to purl conventionally. So there's a knit and the purl in the first one. Knit, bring the new stitch through, bring the yarn between the needles, and purl what's left. Now that I've got 4 stitches on this first needle, I can put a second needle in to the work. Knit, don't let the old stitch off the needle, and purl. And I'm going to work my way around. I'm going to work the first stitch of the second half of the cast on also onto that second needle, so that I have 3 pairs of stitches on there, 2 pairs here, 3 pairs there, and then I can complete the round doubling up those last 3 stitches. Now I've completed my cast on edge, I'm ready to establish double knitting, and we'll do round 1 with our 2 colours, and this particular start is just all white colours, white stitches on the front layer, and it's going to be red stitches on the back layer. So again, leave a tail, and I'm going to purl. And right away I'm into proper double knitting. And I'm going to start using alternative rotation purls here, which I will use for the rest of the project from this point. Knit with the white yarn, bring the yarn forward, purl with the red yarn, rotating it the opposite way around the needle. I can remain on 3 needles, or you'll probably prefer to put it onto 4 different needles once you've done the increase round. At the end of round 1, we now have alternating colour stitches. The white ones will be the near layer stitches, and the red ones will make the basis of the far layer stitches. We'll look at the neatening of the centre in a moment. This is what the completed cast on looks like, and it hasn't yet been neatened. So a couple of stitches with the yarn tail, and there would be no gap at all. It's a very slim centre, and there's the other side. Now to neaten this, I'm going to take my yarn tail left from casting on and just come up here and just tighten that up a little bit, and then I'm going to take it behind one of these stitches and perhaps do a duplicate stitch. In fact, rather than completing a full duplicate stitch, I'm just opting to hide it around the circle. And if I wished, I could actually close that tiny little centre circle with another couple of stitches. And let's have a look at the other side. It's a simple, clean, easy start to a middle out double knitting project.